first and foremost, thank you to the fans tonight. I thought that the atmosphere was electric. It was loud. It was exciting. An important win for us in a lot of ways. Before the game, we challenged the group to raise their level. I think we asked a lot of them against Chicago in the Open Cup to get to a final. We asked a ton of them on the road. They're starting to ask a lot of each other, which is powerful. And we knew that this game would be against the strongest opponent that we've played in quite some time. And it would be a real challenge for us to raise our intensity, to raise our focus, our discipline, our pressing. And I thought that the guys executed exactly what we asked of them. The players deserve all the credit. Their ability to counter press as soon as we lost the ball, immediately recover it, win it back, in particular in the second half, I think really wore down New York City FC, who is a great team. You still have some doubt in your mind with the talent that they have on the field, that someone could just pull a play off and punish us. But credit to the guys who didn't give up a lot after maybe a chance or two in the first half. But a complete team effort. Have some momentum now. Still haven't accomplished anything yet, but we're starting to set ourselves up in a good spot. We've preached now we control our own destiny, and you never want to let that slip up in this league because it can change fast.
Jonathan, sorry.
You said a few weeks ago in all the games against the teams that have some star players, we've come up a little bit short. You did tonight. What happened to finally get this team over that hump?
Yeah, the players realized it too, and even Harris was saying it right before we went out of the tunnel. It was, again, let's see us against the top team. We have to win one of these games against the top clubs, and we've played good against some of the top clubs. We played pretty darn well against Atlanta. We played pretty darn well against Toronto, and now we finally push over that hump and we get a clean sheet against I think one of the better teams in the Eastern Conference, if not the league. So couldn't be prouder of the guys. But yeah, to beat the top team, I think we've done a good job taking care of business against the teams that are in and around us or below us in the standings. To be a special group now, to get a home playoff game. Again, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that is ultimately long-term the goal. You have to win games like this against the top teams. We still have a long way to go, a lot of season left, 10 games, 5 at home, 5 away. We have to take points.
Joe,
Jim, Bork's got 5 assists in his last 5 games now, so played a role in both goals tonight.
Yeah.
What can you say about how he's stepped his game up in the last month or so?
Yeah, you can see his quality. He is kind of a volume player that the more we get him on the ball, the better we're going to be. Even if he turns one over, he has great reactions to win it back. His ability to make the final pass, or even the pass that leads to the goal. Interesting talking to him. He's incredibly intelligent as a soccer player. And he said one of the biggest difference in this league is, he's coming to a team that maybe, he was previously on the team that kind of was dominant in the league, so his chances were always close to goal. You're seeing him make killer passes now from 40, 50 yards out. He's done a great job with that. Really happy with his leadership in the group. He's a really high quality player. I can have nothing but real praise for him and his ability now to kind of make our team go. Gets goals, gets assists, plays balls that lead to penalty kicks, does everything for us. Really happy for him, and he's more than adjusted to MLS, that's for sure.
Jim, that first half was kind of really from the beginning really wide open, maybe a little bit
Scary.
more stretched than you guys are more comfortable at. But has that definition of the weightage, the comfort level of how you guys can play and play at different speeds and stuff like that, is that changing and evolving as this season has gone on, do you think?
Yeah, we're going to be brave and we're going to go for it. I don't want to have a group, the fans don't want to have a group, and the players don't respond well to sitting, putting 10 guys around the ball and letting New York City come and dictate things on our home field. So were there some plays in the first 15 minutes where it's a fine line and they could have punished us? Absolutely. But I think it's better to be proactive in this sport. And yeah, trust your 2 center backs to be one-on-one, which is scary when it's David Villa. But I thought they were brave in that regard. A couple times could they have done a little better with their angles and not get themselves caught in foot races? Absolutely. But overall, I think that you get rewarded when your team is brave. And the way that our guys actually pass the ball too, there's something to be said about that. There's a couple sequences, I'm sure somebody will clip it out, Warshaw likes us right now, so he'll probably have something on it, but he's giving us some love. But there's a sequence in the second half where it almost leads to a goal. There's 8 or 9 passes, one-touch passes where we made it hard on New York City. They had to chase the ball and got a little frustrated towards the end of the game. So really happy with the style of play that the team has kind of embraced. But I think the best thing tonight was how quick we were able to win the ball back when we did make a mistake. Because listen, soccer is a game of mistakes. Whether it's the Premier League, whether it's Germany, whether it's the Italian League, whatever it is, there's tons of mistakes during the course of 90 minutes. How you react to those mistakes is most important, and our guys were really up for that tonight to win it back quickly.
Good.
There's a couple games now with CJ out wide. Can you talk about what he's giving you from that position right now?
The physicality, the ability to win aerial duels, to win flicks, to have Corey run into the channel. Ollie ran off of him a bunch. The tackles that he goes into where you could tell New York City guys were kind of limping off the field at the end of the game there. So again, you throw Fafa into the mix of this front three and you get David going a little bit. I thought David was really, really good tonight as well and created some chances. Just Johnson makes a great save, but really happy with David as well. So again, CJ's ability on the wing, it's unorthodox for teams to play against two guys that have that aerial ability, but also have really good feet and can kind of hold you up as in a wide spot rather than all the way up by in between the two center backs. And it's actually been good for CJ because he doesn't have two big 6'5" guys hanging on his back all the time now. He can kind of face the play. He can spin a guy and come to the middle. He's done a really good job with his passing and in possession. And the guy's a warrior. He's a fighter once he gets out there. He knows what MLS is about. He's been through the battles. Almost had a great goal, too.
Lucino's been sometimes really good and sometimes very inconsistent in his tenure here. Tonight, in addition to scoring a great goal, he took a beating and kept going, which he also hasn't always done. How much did that mean to you, and what did you see from him being right in front of the ball?
It's a special play. When you talk about Elsinho, he has an ability that, again, I say it a lot. I can't coach it. I can't teach it. It's made in the streets of Brazil. It's made on his own time, countless hours, just playing soccer, and he plays with a smile on his face. People forget he was playing pretty darn good before the injury as well, and now picks up the injury and has been itching to get back out there. And I'd say he more than left the mark on the game in a lot of ways. Drawing a red card, obviously scoring the second goal, which was key, I think, in that moment. But yeah, special player who has the ability on the dribble to make people backpedal.
His resilience tonight, getting beat up that much. Sometimes he's gotten hurt, and that's been.
Yeah, I was worried that the injury that he took he was gonna have to come out, which would have been real disappointing because then you're burning two subs for the same spot, and it's kind of redundant and would have been tough. But he had the look on his face like, I don't know if I can keep going. You give him a little push back out there and tell him he'll be fine. Just let the adrenaline kick in and kind of run it off. And I'd say he looked pretty nimble on the goal. So I'm really happy with him. Time to recover now. Hopefully it's not too serious, but we'll probably get a scan or two on it and see what it is. But again, great performance from him. It's not easy to come into a game that's that fast, that high intensity, and he more than helped.
We'll do two more, Joe.
Jim, I know you're still tough on Trusty and Elliott, and there's going to be little things you pick up, but overall, the performance against Villa, Briquet, seems like they has pretty much everything that was thrown at them tonight.
Yeah, they had a lot of different situations to deal with. Obviously, I think New York City scout as well. They actually started with two strikers, which is something that we've struggled with. But they adjusted well. Where there's some moments where there's some dummies and some flicks where it's close with New York City breaking through us, yes, but the two of them did really well. We actually made New York change formations in about the 35th minute of the first half. Went to just more of a three up front. And that was also, they did well with that too. So again, you have to adjust on the fly in games when teams throw different players, different formations at you. But yeah, their IQ for guys that are relatively inexperienced is growing. The more of these types of games you get under your belt, it's so valuable for guys, and I think the future for both of them is only going to get better and better. And Mark's coming as well. Mark's done a great job for us too.
All right, Matt, last one.
Thoughts on the red card? It seemed like you guys are great. Maybe is that happening right in front of the bench? Everyone's quite animated about that.
Yeah, it's difficult. A situation where they obviously had words together. No less than a minute and a half before. sometimes players get frustrated, the score or whatever it might be. But yeah, I haven't really seen it back, but it looked a little bit malicious, and obviously you could tell by our players' reaction they were pretty upset by it. But yeah, these things happen in soccer, so we'll let the league handle it and we'll move on from there.
Thanks, Jim. Thanks, guys.
Thanks.
We'll open up the locker room.